structure of it, it could possibly be a similar structure to Mondragon cooperatives that are in Spain. The idea is to give a claim to those people that do good work in the climate change area, basically. I saw there's been somewhere get this thing going in the media where they can involve in a conversation as to whether that person is worth it and what they were doing and why are they a person of the month, you know. It's one of those ideas, as I said, I have these ideas in the middle of the night, I wake up in the middle of the night. And sometimes in the light of day, it's not really that clever. Anyway, that's my...
So it's a bit like on the news, they do good sorts.
Yeah, very much like that. Yeah, that's it.
Yes, that's
Continue your conversations.
Dennis, I'd like to say from everyone that how much we all appreciate coming here today to celebrate your 70th year. And I'd like to just recognise you, that when people put you down, you didn't allow that. You are someone that we can look to for guidance in that area. So thank you so much, Dennis.
well said.
You're sitting down for Dennis. Do you think it's going to be a long discussion? I think we've started something here. I just wanted to thank you on behalf of Michael and I. We've just done a small co-housing project at Lavendale. And if it hadn't been for Dennis, we would never have had that beautiful environment that we've created down here. I'm quite optimistic, but we found that Dennis was unreasonably optimistic. Because about Hildenstone cutting up these enormous old willow, I think they were willow logs, weren't they? Yes, so he's lucky to be here today after being in his large chainsaw. So I just want to say thank you so much, Dennis, for giving us such a beautiful creekside environment. It's just stunning. You must come and see it. So thank you.
When I first came over to the shore, I didn't know a lot of people, but I knew some people. And you were very welcoming because you knew I had a love for the environment and all that sort of stuff. And you engaged with my then husband and their two small children and took them up in the aeroplane. It was the highlight of Jesse's life to that point. I think he was 7. And he'd never been in an aeroplane. And just small offers of friendship and help and things that you were just going, just offering as if it was nothing. And yet to the people who were receiving it was actually quite a big thing. So thank you so much for your friendliness and your kindness and your practicalness. I just remember when I said to Sylvia, do you remember when we did that environmental display, I think it was at Mitre 10 or something, that you and Sylvia had initiated, and we had a stand-up and you were trialling your proto e-bike. And this is before e-bikes had ever been heard of. And there was an amount of space. But I remember you said, oh, it is sort of like in its trial stages. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? And we discovered what it means. The brakes didn't work very well. So this is coming around the corner of a whole park of cars and he goes, it's not stopping! It's not stopping! And bang! And it got pushed into the back of the car and I'm sure it got revamped somehow or another. But thank you for your practical kindness, Dennis.
Thank you.
It's just so wonderful.
We've had the joy of having the Whirlies. Rua just reminded me that he's coming up 30 in our lives for 25 years. And I can always remember being, I think actually at your house, Dennis, and looking up one day and these 2 little boys coming home from school, our Peter and your Rua. And honestly, they were like 2 little peas out of a pod, the pair of them. And anyway, I was going to tease you about being green, and you live only, 10 minutes walk that way and 5 minutes that way, but you always turn up in our house in a vehicle. And what I will say is thank you. Thank you for 25 years of friendship, 25 years of laughter. Thank you for... You're fading a bit at the moment, my weeds are up to about there, but often turning around and finding that some of my weeds are dying off because Dennis has been around. laughs coming home one day from a girls' quilting weekend to walk into my kitchen, to look out my kitchen window, to see in my back garden an aeroplane waiting to be painted for somebody, to turning up, you know, oh, what are you guys doing for tea tonight? Oh, okay, let's all have fish and chips. Oh, and I'll bring the ice cream, and there's Dennis, you know. And so thank you. Thank you for being part of our family for 25 years. We really appreciate it.
Dennis and I started landscaping this area here. I mean, it was just wild and grass. And so he did all the planting out the back here, which is looking really good. And the community garden that we've started over here, he's done all the stone work and everything. So, you know, it's just been wonderful for all this creative stuff. So thank you.
Dennis, I just like to endorse your generosity. I live up in Rodney, and if I come to town, and Pauline's not that keen on having me living in this, so staying under the same roof. So Dennis said, "Oh, any time you come to town, put your head down at my place. There'll be no problem." And I've done it a number of times, and there's been no problem. He's been up to our property and brought his weed sprayer up, which I wasn't that happy about. But it's great.
Killed a lot of bad weeds there.
Didn't really want him to spray, but have to give him something. The positives are a lot greater than the negatives.
Dennis and I met 30 years ago.
Is it that long ago?
Yeah, I was building recumbent bicycles,
Human-powered vehicles.
and I consider Dennis one of my best mates. We've done an awful lot of talking on phones and talking about all sorts of stuff. You are one of my best mates.
Oh, God.
Thanks, mate.
I'd just like to say,
Oh, not really. It's going to be embarrassing, this one.
I could say lots and lots of embarrassing.
But you won't, will you?
No.
Good boy.
Yes, he's actually very lucky to be alive today. Because when we were kids, we used to tease each other and we used to have fairly major fights. And one day, I remember we were teasing our sister, Vivian, and she didn't appreciate it very much. And she had this hammer in her hand.
Very bad judgment.
And luckily he ran into the bedroom and he slammed the door just as the hammer came smashing through the door. So we didn't actually tease her after.
Female emancipation. The hard way.
He's always been I can remember one of his favourite books were mechanical science books. We had magazines, stacks of magazines, and he was always inventing stuff and reading all the science stuff, and it's just continued on right through our life. But he's also, his gardening experience is just amazing. He can see things and visualise things that most of us can't. He doesn't need to plot things down, he just has them in his brain. He can visualise a garden where it's just an absolute disaster. And I can remember when we first bought our house in Balmoral, it was the worst house in the worst street. And his wedding present to us was, you landscaped our front garden, back garden, and it's every time that every little bit of work, he's always there to give advice, and he always comes up with a nice, really simple plan, and everything just looks fantastic after it's done. And he's worked incredibly hard all through his life, and he's been a fantastic brother, and I really appreciate him. He also, when we were teenagers, was a bit of a rebel. And I can remember we used to have these plants down the back of the garden, and they were native fuchsias. And Mum used to go down regularly and water them. Unfortunately, they were not what Mum thought they were.
I mean, pseudo-fuchsia palmata, don't
That's the one. And very much on the pseudo.
Then there was the bad old days.
Very bad. And he's never stopped being mad. But he's mad in a really, really beautiful way. And thank you very much for being my brother and looking out for everybody, looking out for us as kids as well.
Derek there is going to play some music for us now. I'll try and tag along with him a little. Socialise, talk, dance, whatever you like to do. If the music